watching Sark put on the helmet in the post game. Texas gets the win 23-6. This is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. That was a good win, man. One that I was not sure was going to happen, and we did a lot of really good stuff. That's awesome. I'm in a great mood. All right. Before we talk about what's occurring, let's go head over to InsideTexas.com. You can join for just $1, guys. Best team news, analysis, recruiting, all of that. I'm sure the game thread is absolutely on fire. And then, of course, we're going to have a ton of content over there for you to be celebrating this win. It's going to be absolutely awesome. All right, guys. Initial thoughts, feelings.
You know how we always say, let's focus on ourselves. Sark and the team has nothing to do with anybody else outside the building. It has everything to do with looking inward, looking at the team, looking at what we need to do to get better every week. And this is, we lost offensive linemen, injuries. We had corners out. This is the difference. This is different. This team has proven that they can do something different when they all actually show up and decide to play. Huge game for Trey Wisner. I think we were all doubting him and doubting the O-line and doubting the ability to run the ball consistently. But
yes,
he absolutely found the holes, had some bursts, made some crazy runs that we really needed to say. But two, we didn't have to use Arch until the way we actually wanted to use Arch in the run game.
Yeah.
Just on key downs. He wasn't a key component. So, OU sucks.
Oh, in summation, dude, Wisner was in game mode. At one point, he's pointing out lead blockers. I was like, oh, he's feeling it, dude. Man. Wisner absolutely balled out. So, yeah, people point out, I've had my critiques of him 1,000%. He will not be getting critiqued today at all. I thought Wisner looked awesome, and we needed that leadership. I thought that was awesome.
OU is now 0-3 in years where they do the flyover against Texas, and they have an injured quarterback.
No, their quarterback was healthy, and he wasn't even on the report today.
Yeah.
He did play. So I was saying the biggest mind game OU did was no mind game at all. And because we were paranoid about that. Quentin, thank you, man. Told you Debbie Downers they were trash. I'm fine with it, man. Thank you, Quentin.
VJ Ramachandran had an interesting comment. VJ, everybody, if you super chat with money, your insults to Connor, then they have to go on the bottom screen and he has to read them.
No, I will read it. He's actually lower sequentially than that right now. There are some mothers in here that owe my quarterback an apology. Yeah, we saw it versus Florida, right? Him standing tall in the pocket, but he was efficient today too.
He was outstanding.
Yeah, his growth has been remarkable, and especially in that big of an event. And he just looked calm. There was never a point where I was worried about Arch. That was awesome. Damn, even the O-line played a lot better. That opening drive, that was scary. And then not a ton of it. I'll have to watch the all 22, but it wasn't Sac City, right?
We found work against this team for sure.
Yeah.
You knew it wasn't going to be like Florida again.
Yeah.
Like there's too much pride, too much talent to be that bad this week, right after that. Yeah. And the game plan, how many deep shots did they even attempt today?
Not many. They weren't.
Not many.
They didn't. And you're right.
Yeah, I thought
Sark handled it like a they were very pro style today. Very pro style. Mm-hmm. They're going to drop 3 deep. They're going to beat the crap out of our protections. So we're going to run the ball. We're going to roll out. We're going to control the ball. We're going to play all our tight ends. Played all the tight. I couldn't believe.
Me neither.
It was like the UTEP rotation, and I was like, okay, it's working, I guess. And just ball controlled them.
Yeah, I thought when the strategy came out, like we're going to be heavy and run it, I was like, no, God. And it worked. Stark was investing in the run from play one. And then it was very clear once it was consistent in the second quarter. It's like, okay, he's trying to get to the fourth quarter with this. So, look, I was wrong. He called that was the right game plan for him today, man. So, it was awesome. My moment in the sun, VJ Ramachandran says, just have to say, Tex Homer is an idiot bagging on Texas. Sure, I will be an idiot today, man. I'm absolutely excited. Did Nick Brooks play the whole game? I don't know. I stopped.
Yes.
I didn't.
He did.
I didn't
Yeah,
key
he
in
did.
on the card
He
after.
was pretty good.
He did pretty good.
I mean, from
You
live
get the
wire.
jitters out, and yeah, man. I mean, you at the end of the day, if Nick Brooks was not playing well, we would have all seen it. That's how it's been throughout this season. So the fact that I think maybe after the second quarter or maybe the first half of the second quarter, I don't recall anybody.
Yeah, I didn't.
Any of us making a comment about the offensive line. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just it was like you're waiting on something bad to happen, and it just didn't happen. So,
Do you know who played with a ton of pride today? It was DJ Campbell.
Dude, he had a vendetta. You pointed. I couldn't remember who it was, but like after the play, several times he was.
There's
going
one
after
play I noted where he was pointing at one of the Oklahoma guys, and he was like, "I'm gonna get you." I think it was Kip Lewis because later he finished Kip Lewis like 10 yards down the field. Yeah.
And the best part about this game, because it has happened to me. I say happened to me. It's happened to one of our teams before, where you have the pregame trash talk situation in the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
You always wonder how your team is going to come out and look and fight. You know, and our guys showed up to fight.
We were chippy.
Yeah, we showed up to fight. We showed up like that. That's a major part of just what this game is. Did you show up to fight? If you showed up to fight, that's half the battle. And I honestly think if you watch Texas film, if you're an OU coach, if you're an OU player, and you watch Texas's film through the first 5 games, you did not think the same team was out there punching you in the mouth today. You just didn't. There's no way they thought this team today was the same one they saw on film, and they felt it for 4 quarters today.
No.
OU hasn't scored a touchdown in 3 of the last 4. It's going to be like
over 1,000 days.
Yeah.
By the time next year comes around.
Yeah. Over 1,000 days without Oklahoma finding the end zone in the Cotton Bowl. That is something.
Coach Snark, this is the same thing for me. The encouraging thing about today was that they actually strung together some drives. Yeah, the execution up and down the field for these long drives, like that's what I'm talking about. That's what I wanted to see. My favorite drive wasn't even the awesome one out of the third, is when we got backed up. We only kicked a field goal at the end, but just to be able to drive out of the end zone there too, man, like we were making some moves when they counted, and that we hadn't seen that. And so that was absolutely awesome to see. Offense grew up today, especially the line. Still got some things we can do on that side of the ball. Defense played as well as you can. Let's carry this one to Lexington Hookham. Yeah. You guys want to talk? Let's kind of go by rooms of what you saw. Arch Manning's performance. What did you guys think?
Just keep growing. I mean, this is what development looks like. I mean, the guy still avoids the first free rusher every time consistently. And if there's a second one, he has a shot. But for the most part, he played within himself. He played the offense. I don't remember any risky throws. No throws in the coverage. He didn't press. The one thing I feel like him at the beginning of the season that probably really hurt him is you can see and feel his intensity and him pressing and kind of like trying to rush through things. When you're seeing Arch transition back and forth from chaos to calm, like he sees a rusher, he regroups, calm. But then when he wants to rip it and when he's decisive, he rips it. There was a couple throws I was like, oh, like the same throws that we were questioning, can he put touch on the ball? He didn't have to put touch on it today. When he's in line and when he's doing what he needs to do and when he's dialed in, those balls that we thought he needed to put touch on, they fly out of his hand and they're right in the right spot. So this is what development looks like. So this is what development looks like. Really, really great game from him.
Ian, give me your Arch thoughts, man. 78% completion.
You know what's funny also is we thought he would have to do a lot of hero ball running it. And I think they ran some outside zone read on some of those plays. They definitely ran a lot of RPOs. But he scrambled to throw for the most part today. He did not pull it down. That's 4 carries for 34 yards, it says, and then 29 on that one at the end before he gave a little farewell wave to the Oklahoma fans.
Joe Burrow.
That was legendary. We thought he would have to play great today, and he did, but it looked very different than we thought it would. We were thinking you got to be the run game, and you got to hit a couple shots, even though they're going to drop back and they're going to blitz you. You're going to have to hit a couple shots anyway, and if you just hit a couple, that the defense might mean that that's enough, which probably would have been true, but they played it totally differently.
Yeah,
and he totally delivered. So.
Well, he was quarterbacking today, right? It wasn't like all or nothing. Like, that's okay. It's like now we're seeing like real growth. That's what quarterbacking looks like. So that was awesome. And it was never, like Drew said, there was never a point of the game where I'm like, what's going on with Arch? Or I hope he can figure this out. Like, he just came out and played a great game, in a complete game. And then the perfectly timed runs.
And off script too, Connor. It wasn't, 21 to 27, when some of these throws were out of the pocket, looking back across his body, and I'm like, don't do it. And he's literally sidearming it through some defenders and just kind of getting yards he can get with just a few guys. I think Wingo had a few throws, nothing deep, but just as an outlet. Just, hey, let me just get the ball to him and get some yards. So it's not like these are all scripted plays where he was that efficient. A lot of this stuff is happening outside of the pocket, where he's just keeping his eyes downfield. My family will tell you I was screaming a couple times at the TV saying, just run it. And he's like, no, he's keeping his eyes down the field, and he's finding a receiver, even if it was for 5 yards when he could have ran it. So really, really, really huge jump from him today from a maturity standpoint for sure.
Yeah, let's talk run game. This was a good lead in. Homer and Ian, is the Sark run game just perfectly matched to BV's scheme? They seem to run it way more efficiently against 0U. What's going on there, Ian?
Yes. Basically, yes. The outside zone play is extremely difficult on Oklahoma's defense because they love to slant and stunt. And that is an awesome way to play in college, because college teams are often like power, counter, inside zone based, where everything's like right here. And if you can slant and twist around with your defensive tackles really effectively, you can get guys running free into the backfield. But if you do that against outside zone, the fact that the line is pushing so hard in one direction or another, you can slant way out of the play and get just buried at the point of attack. Or you can just kind of get picked up because the style is a little more finesse kind of by the offensive line. That's not always the right word. Like, some teams are pretty physical with how they run outside zone. But the fact that all the initial steps are lateral and in concert means that if you're moving around a lot, you're just kind of setting yourself up as marks, as targets. I'd be curious to hear Drew Kelson talk about that in a minute, but they have torched Oklahoma with outside zone pretty much every year with Sark because of that, and they just get caught. And they also, the Sooners, their style with Venables is always as bullies. They love to attack you. They love to jump on your tendencies. Mm-hmm. They're great at pressuring you. Great at sending numbers and whatever to your weak points. But if you can kind of finesse them, then they will run out of a play, and then you have a chance to bully them. So hit me, Drew. What do you got?
No, what you just said is they'll run out of the play. Anytime you're getting upfield in that way, you're creating vertical seams in the defense, and a patient back will find the cutback lanes. But those vertical seams also create like gaping holes in your defense. So they kind of line you up for some explosive plays. But what also happened, and I think we saw it in the second half, was I don't know if they just stopped slanting or they just got tentative, but running duo was, we just started moving them. And at the end of the day, when you have 600 pounds on your DTs, they're being tentative on, even if you're slanting either with duo, you're either slanting out of the play or you're getting matched on. And those guys, this is the first time I've seen well, we saw them against, maybe it was against UTEP. They ran a lot of duo, but they really just began to lean on them a little bit, and all those yards matter. Every 3-yard run, 4-yard run, and we can squeak out 5. Those yards matter when you're running clock and when your offense is on schedule. So I think that was a real key thing. The only thing that kept us off schedule today were penalties early. I'd love to go back and chart this and take a look at it, but I'm not sure how many, once we actually got the run game going, how many times we were behind the chains because of just a dead run play. I did screenshot one time when we ran on the ball on like 2nd and 9 and got nothing, and it pissed me off because I'm like, first down it was 7 minutes left in the second quarter. I was like, what are we doing? But at the end of the day, Wisner was he looked fresher than we'd seen even last week.
Yeah,
the O-line with injuries, with some uncertainty, after they got those early game jitters out, they knew what the game plan was and executed it. And I think they did just a great job, man, for 4 quarters too.
And when he has those big games, he has this very like Wisner style where he just starts getting shifty and like spins guys out and does the jumps. And it was looking like what was it, Clemson A&M last year. Once he gets going, he has this very unique running style, especially in outside zone. And we were starting to see that again too. And I thought that was cool.
It's herky-jerky.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he has space to set himself up, then those work. When it's like more quick hitting, then a lot of times the result is that he doesn't hit the hole hard enough. He's like falling forward and just gets his legs taken out, etc. But we saw last year he had some games where he ran over teams when they couldn't fit outside zone properly,
yep.
and he could be patient and wait for his cut. And that was we got that Wisner today. We got OU Wisner, but we also got like A&M Clemson Wisner.
Yeah.
I'm not counting on seeing that every week this season.
We're celebrating, Ian.
Right. Yeah. No,
but he's going to go down. He's going to go down. He's going to have place in Longhorn lore forever now.
What he's done at Red River for sure.
Because he's taken it to Oklahoma 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So Trey, don't let us
get you down.
You. Just stiff arm us with your golden hat poses.
Yeah, I think something, and maybe this is the running game and Arch today too, though. I think the second half, there's something about the second half with once we kind of get the jitters out, once we find our game plan and our rhythm, once everybody kind of comes together, it's like we take a little bit of time on the front end of the games to kind of get cooking and figuring things out. But the fact that we were able to do that in the second half. And don't let anybody tell you this OU defense wasn't the greatest thing since sliced bread. We were the worst offense ever coming into this game. That was the talk. Regardless of material, regardless of all that, we were a terrible offense going against the number 1 defense in the SEC and all this other stuff. What happened today?
What do y'all? I'm curious. What do y'all think? So is OU just mega overrated? Or did Texas just ball out? What do you think now? Or do you think styles make fights?
It's similar to Texas being overrated defensively. Look at who you're playing. You can't have 20 sacks against Jackson Arnold, and pound your chest. You played a freshman quarterback in Michigan. It's not even, no disrespect to either of them, but you have to. All these stats have context. They all do. Even Texas's stats. We saw it last week against Florida. There are certain things we finally got challenged on, and it exposed us. You got to put it into context. All these stats. So I'm happy OU came into this game 5-0, proud. They got their quarterback back. They had it all, and we were down, right?
Yeah.
Nah. I love
Thank you, Sugarcane Daddy. We Florida OU. And then
I do think Oklahoma had – we all noted that Oklahoma has iffy cornerbacks, and then all their safeties are big box-fitting safeties, all of them. They've got like 4 or 5 that are really good at that, but are not good at catching people in man coverage. And so they overplayed because they were like, we can't let Texas hit shots on us because we may not score very much today. And they're like, we'll make Texas beat us in the run game and underneath. And then Texas did exactly.
I know. And then Texas did, to my surprise, dude.
So what I think what that says about Oklahoma is they were a much more limited team than people thought going in because of the 5-0 bias, and winning a couple games at home against teams that are not that great.
But had big brands.
And games that Oklahoma sold out to win those games. They sold out and they got Mateer beat to hell in those 2 games. So by the time he got to this one, obviously he didn't have much left in the tank.
Yeah, his performance was pretty wild.
Gritty, but also spectacularly crappy.
Yeah. Yeah, like you can admire the toughness, but also just like throwing up gimmies to Manny Muhammad, who was like perfect, And so just doing weird stuff. And we knew that about Mateer.
Should we live prank call Dr. Shin's office and see if we can get them a refund?
Yeah, we should do that. We like crank yankers or whatever.
Yeah,
we like a refund. I thought we'd see some trick plays or something up the sleeve. I'm glad we didn't even pull that stuff out of the bag.
I thought they were going to do it too in the second half.
Do it too.
I thought in the second half, Arbuckle, because he does run trick plays.
Yeah.
Oklahoma did run one trick play.
They tried to do it. Yeah, the receiver actually
made a play.
They should have played that guy quarterback today.
All right.
That was Giovanni Gibson, I think. That was, man, when they threw it, I was like, oh, Texas is about to stuff this.
Yeah.
And then he broke that tackle, and it was like an 8-yard gain or something. It didn't amount to anything, but
it was still not bad for a wide receiver pass or whatever. All right, before we keep going, though, guys, let's hear a word from Academy.
Touchdown! Any gate can be a tailgate.
All right, let's work through some of these here comments. Brad Spence was a menace today. Thank you, Dale Allen. Yeah, he was playing.
I was shocked by how much they played him, and because I just don't feel like he's played a ton this year. But I think they really liked him especially when they would play like 3 down and drop the buck edge back to spy. He was terrific. A great game by him.
Yeah, for sure. The missed 55-yard field goal, and I knew we were going to win this. That's a weird point to make you think we were going to win it, but whatever it takes, man.
Not when I felt most confident.
Yeah, you got a unique way of noticing, but sure.
But Ian, you did. I mean, we're talking about confidence. I think we all you said it out loud, but I think we all felt it early. The defense was going to be fine throughout this game.
Yeah, you could tell. You could tell that Mateer was running out of steam really early. And at first it was like, you know what? I think the thumb looks pretty good, but he looked a little gimpy early. And then as he got going, he had like a knee thing too that he's been resting and trying to heal. As the game got going, his mobility, I think, actually got a little bit better. Maybe being terrified of getting hit, but the thumb totally deteriorated. And you could see, like, somebody on Twitter pointed out to me that it looked like he was gripping the ball more with his hand and less with his fingers. And anything that he tried to push down the field was really iffy. And so he had to work underneath. And like at halftime, you just knew if Texas starts to squeeze in on some of these routes that they were sustaining drives with early, like those quick slants to the backside, and just the crossers and whatever, if Texas can start squeezing these a little better, then I don't know if they have anything else. And they didn't.
Yeah. The only thing that surprised me this game was the Texas offense, like sustaining drives. But their offense, I thought it went fairly reasonable. They wouldn't be able to run very well. The short passing is all they have. Their stats are they can't hit explosives. They didn't hit explosives. So I thought the defense versus the OU offense. Now, I didn't expect Mateer to look so like pedestrian. You would think he would have a couple kind of Mateer plays, but I thought that side of the ball went fairly accurate to what I thought it was going to happen. So shout out Texas defense. Arch was a dog. Trey was a dog. Colin was a dog. Malik was a dog. Taft was a dog. The O-line were dogs in the second half. This team is going to be better in November. Great team victory. It's 6-15 and OU sucks. Thank you, Huff Tex.
Still sucks.
Yeah, Taft showed up early. He made like 3 tackles kind of on that opening drive. And
dude, he was inches away from true glory though on that scoop.
Oh yeah, the scoop. Yeah, if he wasn't stepping out of bounds, that was close. We had a couple of those moments that like the Jelani almost pick 6. They were there. But man, it was just fun. All right, let's see what else we got here from you guys.
There's a question I don't want to answer coming up.
Which one?
The super chat, so you don't have to put it up.
Which one is it?
The Justin Wales.
Call your shot. Are we winning out? Let's just celebrate this win today, guys. Let's.
Goodness.
Maybe. I wouldn't bet on it. I mean, I don't bet anyway.
The talent is there to do whatever. It's just a matter of how they respond to this. This game was always going to bring the emotion out of people, and I mean, it should bring everything out of the players. It should bring everything they have, and we saw that today. But I think the extra layer of this is we saw who we could be when we consistently played within ourselves. We consistently performed and played fast as a defense, and we consistently ran the ball and blocked well. So the receivers blocking downfield was, I mean, there was a couple of times where I noticed Wingo. I was like, dude, you're getting busy down there. So yeah, I mean, can you win out? That's always going to be the question, but it's what does this team know now, and what does this team believe about themselves that they didn't know before today? And I think with every game, with as much as we've said, how much can you develop throughout the season? There's all different types of layers to it. A lot of it is psychological, but then you realize, what you do well. I mean, goodness, man. Arch got to see who he was today when he's just calm and playing his game and playing within himself. Nothing special, nothing extra. That wins ball games.
The big question too is like clearly they needed the doubt, right? They harnessed the doubt. Everyone's doubting us. OU looks good. Can you continue that chip on your shoulder when now you're going to be back on the mountaintop and facing teams that you are favored against or whatever? It's also keeping that mindset because they clearly did the Kirby Smart school of motivation this week to harness, nobody believes in us. So now that they believe in you again, can you keep that edge is kind of my thing. All right, let's look what we got here. Red zone attempts 2 for 2 because we hit field goals, right? So solid there. See, where are these penalties? We only had 4 penalties.
That deserves a celebration.
Does that sound right?
Clapping, if there were some emojis or something we can do to clap. I don't think. Do we have any on defense?
I don't know. Let's see.
I don't think we had. I don't recall any defensive penalties.
They don't even have them. It's just like total, I guess.
How many would they have? 4. So there were two false starts. There was McDonald on the kick return,
and then
there was a hold.
And a hold. So that's it. That's all of them.
So only 4. They were all first quarter. Yeah, that's why it felt like.
I don't know if that's right, but they were.
Jelani wasn't first quarter.
Yeah.
But the offensive line ones were like bang, bang, bang. So we were like, here we go again, man.
Man, that first hold probably sprung that run a little bit.
Yeah.
But early on, they ran from the beginning of the game, they had a split zone play where Wisner found a crease. And I was like, that's interesting. I know they're counting on that, but that did pretty good. And then that duo where they got called for holding, they were getting push up the middle on all those. And I was like, what? That's interesting. Is that going to keep up? Because that'd be a game changer.
Yeah. I think Drew wrote the tweet where was it Wisner on that third down didn't expect the offensive line to get pushed and he looked like confused.
He stopped and was like, he started he glitched.
Yeah.
It's like he stopped and what do I do? It's like, yeah, man, they're moving the ball. You have 1 yard. Go get it.
Yeah, he was almost like, wait, what?
Like, yeah,
he was expecting he was going to have to hit different holes, but yeah, even he was surprised we were getting pushed. Yeah, that's the offense. Like, that was strange. They were executing up and down the field. They were getting pushed. The run game was there. We weren't over relying on the shots. Like, everything we've been asking for, man. And so that was really cool. That was super cool to see.
Man, it's fun. You talking about plays? I know we mentioned this earlier, and not to switch to special teams, but when you talk about like legendary type replay plays, we're going to be able to see in this game. Punt return we got from the punt return we got today was that was one of the nails in the coffin.
Yeah,
that's that when you could tell
when that happened. It's over.
That was over.
Yeah. That's one you want to be in the stadium for. You know, I usually don't regret being at home and watching the game at home, but that's one. It's like, man, if I was in the stadium for that was a home.
Yeah. Special teams, defense, offense. It was a full performance. And
I don't think I've been in the game. I don't think I've been in the stadium for a blowout Texas win in this rivalry. So that's a
dude. I was at 49-0, and that was the most relaxing. Normally that game is so stressful, dude. Like, you feel exhausted after it, the heat and the emotions. That 49-0, we were literally leaning back. Like, people weren't even in their spots anymore. People were just hanging out on the bleachers. You were just chilling, watching it. It was like it was on TV. It was that relaxed, that game. It was awesome.
I went to 3 in a row in college. I went to 07, 08, and 09. And 08 was legendary. And then I was Ryan Nelson. Ian, were you there for 2013? I was actually there in the press box for 2012. And I had spent the whole week being like, they're gonna take it to us. And then immediately Oklahoma jumped on them and were blowing them out. And so I was just like in the buffet in the press box, like loading up food and just like kicking my feet up on the desk and eating.
Yeah, it's nice.
Like, you almost want that in this game. The best games are the tight back and forth, but sometimes just knowing early what's going to happen is such a relief.
It saves
otherwise like a 4-hour heart attack.
I was going to say it saves the cardiac stress whenever you know it's just going to, because that game is seriously emotionally draining. Has there been any OU guys in the chat? No, there are not any like trash talkers. A couple guys have given us congrats, so the ones that have came over have been cool. But of course they're not in the chat right now for the most part.
Man, yeah, our numbers would be going crazy if we lost. It's funny how that works.
Yeah, it's very annoying. Whenever you lose, everyone shows up. It's just the nature of the fanship. Let's see what else we got here, boys.
We were the home team this year, right? We had recruits in the building, the whole deal, right?
Yeah, we were home.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had a bunch in there, because I think Justin was kind of saying that it wasn't like a huge recruiting extravaganza
this year.
Yeah.
But maybe I misheard.
With a little bit.
This game matters in recruiting every year, regardless. Even from a perception standpoint, from seeing the culture of team standpoint.
Especially if you take it to the other team like this.
Yeah.
And you keep doing that year after year.
Yeah, we didn't just win this game.
Yeah, there's no argument of like, well, if the ref called this, it's like, okay. If the ref called it, you would still have lost.
They were begging for the flag on like that 4th down throw that was where Mateer was like lit up throwing it, and the ball was like 5 yards short of like Satania, I think. Yeah. And then Herbie was trying to throw him a bone with the potential Vosick blocking the back on the punt. But even if you call that, it's like Texas ball at like the 50 or something. It's like, well, they're not.
That's what's great though, is there's no wiggle room for them to play that game, and so that's always nice when you just beat them soundly and you beat them on every side of the ball, right? There's no and your starting quarterback did play, so all of that matters. So yeah, Mateer ends up 200 yards. I'm even surprised he got that. 3 interceptions on 53% completion percentage.
What's his yards per attempt? That looks like it will be really low.
I don't know if they have it on here.
And he played his game too. Like it wasn't as if he ran the ball. I mean, he didn't look physically in. I mean, you're right, but he wouldn't have looked that way regardless of surgery. He's a beat up player. His game, he is going to continue to deteriorate material. Yeah,
I don't know. They're in a bad spot now. Maybe let's save that for the end. Let's save that for the end.
Okay.
You want to end on a sweet note?
I'm gonna make a note.
Yeah, make sure we double back to it. So yeah, Mateer looked bad. I mean, nobody really stuck out for him. Maybe, normally there's like one guy that's like, well, he had a good game.
Well, it's clear. Like, I mean, Burks made some key catches. I mean, they have guys who are making plays in space and talented players, but they don't have the big shot plays. They could not drive down the length of the field, and they didn't have any explosive plays to roll with. I don't know how much longer they can survive without being able to run the ball.
Look at this. So, yeah, they averaged 1.6 yards per carry, Oklahoma rushing. They got 48 rushing yards. And even OU fans would have told you we're not going to be able to run. But yeah, that was correct. They were not going to be able to run. That was pretty impressive. Anybody on defense that stood out to you for them?
For Oklahoma?
Yeah, for Oklahoma.
I saw them on their backs quite a bit.
Our Mason Thomas is the only one that got a sack, right? Yeah, it looks like it.
He was pretty good. They got exposed. They thought they were going to jump on Texas and pressure Arch all day. And instead they got caught in a broom closet with DJ Campbell.
Yeah. And
they did not like it.
Yeah. I thought they were going to do that, and that is not what occurred at all. It was awesome, man.
I do think their D-line is a little bit overrated.
I think they are.
Because as aggressive and athletic as they are and as deep as they are, they don't have a lot of guys that can reliably hold the point of attack for 4 quarters.
Yep.
And it's just that they blitz and outnumber you so well that you can't take advantage of it usually. But Texas took advantage of it and they exposed them.
But it's because it's also such a eye-catching play style, because it's so much movement, it's so much penetration that it even gives this greater effect. Whenever you watch it, like the all 22 and all of that stuff too. And I would talk about that in our analysis last year, is that Venable's aggression just looks like even more than it is because it just visibly catches your eyes more.
Yeah. He has a great system though. I give some credit where it's give the devil his due.
Yes,
that's total bomb. That defense.
That's a great system.
Yeah. But that's what catches people. It's the same with like the hero quarterback, like Mateer, right? Like national media will love Mateer because they love the big play run around guy, but it's tough whenever you face a sound defense like that. Florida is back to being a really beatable team. They might get both races tonight. Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised if that turnaround had happened. Wisner MVP. Yeah, what do y'all think? Who's the offensive MVP? I'm down. I'm gonna say give it to Wisner.
Wisner.
How many catches you have? Go ahead, Drew.
I just think it's a different game if we don't have that running game, because everything wasn't perfectly blocked. And Wisner always gets credit for being the guy who he understands where the run is supposed to go and it's perfectly blocked. He did more than that today. Like he gave some juice when we needed it, had some explosive runs, kept some drives going. So that is, I mean, he's my answer, but there's a few third downs where Arch was nails. There's some different opportunities. He just did everything he needed to do as a player, getting out of the pocket and throwing the ball and moving the ball down the field. So our Arch will be right there behind it just from a management standpoint. But I don't want to undersell, because we've seen Arch move the pocket and play in these conditions that aren't perfect all year. But now it's like, am I not giving him enough credit for doing just that today? But But still, I think it's still Wisner. Wisner definitely gave some juice in the run game we hadn't had this year.
I think it's Wisner. I'm with you, Drew. That's a really tough call between Wisner and Manning. I'm almost want to give it to the O-line or an individual O-lineman, but without rewatch, I don't feel
you don't know. You have to see the
super confident in that. But I almost want to give it to, like, I don't know, maybe just the O-line in general. They probably Wisner. Oh, you had like 12 tackles for loss. I was shocked to see. I don't know. Some of those may have been on screen passes where Sark was sure they were going to blitz and they didn't blitz. But
check out some Texas defense. All right. So we had Taff with 9 total, 7 solos. We had Manny with 2 picks. We had Littleton with a pick. Where do we end up in the sack column? Simmons finally getting his sacks, 2.5. Taft gets a sack. I guess did he actually get it? Was it a quarterback run sack?
That was a sack.
It was a sack.
I don't remember it. I must have missed that play.
He got tripped up, but he got Mateer about to shoot. It was fourth
quarter. It was a sim blitz, and he was like 8 yards off the slot, way out there,
outside the box.
But it was a true blitz. He went right after him and got him blitz.
Oh yeah, and he looped around and
I missed it.
He torched the Oklahoma center in space, and then Mateer was getting out, and Taft like desperately flung and tripped him before, and so he couldn't get out. It was amazing.
It's awesome. 5 total sacks, man. That was really important. That was a narrative. Where and when are we going to get the sacks? So 5 sacks on the day.
I think it's definitely Simmons. I think the pressure was big, but most of the interceptions had a lot to do with pressure. The defensive tackles were really good too. I don't know if they had gaudy stats, but they dominated Oklahoma's offensive line to the degree that you would have hoped for.
Do you give it to Manny, or was he just thrown the ball twice?
I
mean, they were good picks. I'm glad he got them, but both of them were like,
he came off the ball for both.
Yeah, he came off the ball for both.
Yeah.
It did feel different when he was off the field, and I think even when Florida last week, when I think about, man, did we miss Manny last week? We did, and then this week for the few plays he was off, I mean, you could see. I mean, some of the different. I mean, there's just more space.
Yeah.
But I warned as soon as I watched Mateer in the offseason, I warned for months that I was like, when they get into SEC play, some team's going to drop 8 and spy him with a guy that's faster than him. And I don't know if he's going to be able to do anything about it. And Texas did that a lot today. And Simmons was all over him.
Yeah, like I thought Mateer had big holes in his game. I'm just surprised how bad his stat line was. Like I thought he would still get beat and throw a couple picks, but at times you were just like, what the hell are they doing out there, man? And I was saying, put Hawkins in. I think that would have solved it for him, probably got him the dub. But
I mean, 2, maybe 3 plays max where there was a wide open receiver. I felt like we were in the windows of most of his throws most of the day, or there's a defender right there most of the day. So,
yeah.
I mean, the defense had coverage dialed in. They had the offense dialed in. There weren't really many windows for Mateer to go to today.
Yeah. All right, guys, before we keep going, though, let's hear another word from Academy. Huddle up, football fans. Tailgate season is here, and nobody gets Texas ready for game day like Academy Sports and Outdoors. Swing by your local Academy store or shop online at academy.com to find grills, canopies, jerseys, and more. Be a watch party legend with gear from top brands like Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour at undefeatable prices every single day. Fun can't lose, and neither can you with tailgate gear from Academy. Academy Sports and Outdoors is the official sporting goods and outdoor retailer of the SEC. All righty. What were your So what are your thoughts, Ian? I know this game means more to you than anyone else. How, and I mean coaches, players, anyone else, how are you feeling, man?
That looks like it meant more to DJ Campbell today than it meant to me.
Dude, he was locked in.
That guy was like fighting for his life up there. Gooseby went back in there with I don't know what happened to him, but he wasn't feeling great, and he came back out and fought. Brooks was fighting out there. A lot of people owe Brooks an apology, I think. Because there's a lot of people that are like, this guy gives us no chance. This guy's useless.
Yeah, dude, me. But also,
would you like to apologize to Nick?
After I watch the All 22, I will apologize to Nick Brooks. After I watch the All 22, I most certainly will. But that first drive, I'll apologize for that too. Because that first drive,
Nick
I was
Brooks
like,
is not supposed to be playing this year. He's not supposed to be playing.
No, I'm not mad at Nick Brooks. I talk about
it's like the fact that he's playing and was able to come into this game, second game.
Yeah,
they're going to keep building him he's going to get better. That's the crazy thing is, if you didn't see Nick Brooks throughout the game, that's because he was doing his job most of the time. You know, so we've been calling O-linemen out for tripping and falling over each other against San Jose State.
Yeah,
you know, so to not have those blatant, egregious, just you see it right in your face issues with the O-line today. They just played competitive football. So there was nothing that was just given away or handed over. And that's honestly, that was a shock for us.
Yeah, that's why I make sure to say the left guard spot, because it's not fair. Even if Brooks gave up 8 tackles today, it's still our sacks. It wouldn't be on him. You know, he's a true freshman. He was a tackle. So it's still, I would never call him out by name just because he's been put in an impossible situation for a young guy. It'd be different if he's a junior or a senior, but that's why I just say the left guard spot was a nightmare because it's been. But I can't wait to watch the All 22. I think that's going to be an actual positive exercise on our film studies to see how they did, because they were getting forward vertical push as well as making things happen in outside zone. It looked like a complete run game, and we haven't seen that all year. So that was a huge, huge piece for me. What do you anything to shout out on special teams besides Niblett doing his thing?
I didn't think special teams was great before that. Baumeister had one outstanding punt where he kicked it from like the 20 to the other 20. That was huge. I'll tell you when Texas really won the game is when they stuffed Oklahoma after the half. Oklahoma punted and got a great punt off. Texas didn't field it. It rolled to the 15, and then they got half the distance on a penalty by McDonald.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, they had a chance to like really seize control of this game, and now they're backed up, and the momentum could totally flip with a bad series here. And then instead, they drove down the field for a field goal, right?
Yeah, that's why I said that was my favorite drive, because they took back control.
Yeah, I think that was the end of the game, basically.
Yeah.
They still had other plays to make, but at that moment, you knew like they've got this. They're not gonna. Oklahoma does not have enough in the tank to not have made more of that opportunity.
Yeah,
but field goals. It doesn't feel like Sark has a great handle on what Mason Shipley can be counted on for. I thought the 4th and 4 decision to kick the field goal did not make a lot of sense. I think going for it made sense because you had no reason to be afraid of Oklahoma's offense. But I would have gone for it and not tried to kick that field goal.
The one that went from a 1-possession game to a 1-possession game, that field goal.
Yeah.
The one that fell short of the.
He called a timeout.
Okay, you're talking about the missed one. Okay.
The missed one, yeah. They missed 2.
Yeah. The first one I was fine with because Sark was like, I want to see what I got. The 50-yarder. I want to see what I got, and this game could end up in field goals. So that one I was like, all good.
Yeah. That's what we said going in. We're like, this week, Sark, take the field goals.
Yeah.
But that second one, I would have reneged on and gone for. I wonder if Sark like called timeout and he was trying to see if Wisner could get in there or not. Yeah. And then just like, whatever.
Wisner's beat up, man. But what we knew about him is he's all heart. That's the one give on him. But, man, he's taking a beating, dude.
They might have another Wisner and Simon. Just need to start giving him more of a look. And we actually hear in practice that Clark is good in practice. But we have not seen it in the game yet. They barely gave him chances in this game.
Yeah.
Saw Gibson for like a second, and then they lost a bunch of yards.
We don't need to see Gibson anymore.
Yeah.
I like that guy. Too bad. So sad.
I like him too. Just hold on to the ball, man. That's the biggest factor.
Drew, did you hear that we heard that like going into the bye week, they tried to pump up Gibson and be like, this is your chance to seize this job. And then he went out in practice and immediately fumbled a bunch of times.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. I mean, I figured that had to be the case. Because there was a lot of guys who end up playing in the game where we asked the question, why is he playing in the game? It's like, well, because he practiced well. But I guess that has to be something we have to trust, is if a guy is not playing, it's because he is literally not practicing. It's not just happening on the field. So it is what it is.
It's the net.
People's willingness to give Sark the benefit of the doubt just climbed back up.
Correct.
That's only going to go so far as what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
But
dude, can you imagine this next week if you lose to OU? Like, this was about to be the most miserable next week, dude. And thank God that reality never came.
And it wasn't close.
Yeah,
it wasn't close. Where it wasn't even a nervous game at all. It's just like, if we can just put points on the board, and then as soon as we got 7, we figured it out.
Yeah, that second half, man, I was really impressed. I thought they looked great. This is also another – I noticed this too, Bobby. Refreshing to see OU called for some of their blatant holds. I was surprised too. After a couple of them happened, I was like, finally, man.
There's a big difference between offensive line doing a great job of holding where they grab the jersey here.
And tight ends.
Like Oklahoma's traditionally done. And between that and a tight end getting caught, seeing extending on an edge play where the ball broke contain. You're always going to get busted on those.
Dustin has stated Sark can coach until Georgia, and then we will reevaluate. And that is the what have you done for me lately? But Sark will be able to.
I'm with that, Dustin.
Yeah, Sark will be able to keep his job until further notice.
And then there'll be A&M.
Yeah. Who do we got next? Kentucky, then Vandy. We should have some time to get right versus Kentucky too. I just want the team to keep this edge, right? Maybe we need to question them a little more. Let's just do like a couple hours this next week where we're just hating hard so they can get whatever they need motivation-wise.
It's the truth, though. It's the truth. It's like, is this real or not? I mean, that's the real question. Is this real? Is this something that's going to carry over to next week? I mean, I figure if you're looking bad against everybody, on offense, San Jose State, UTEP, like if you were looking bad against all of them, then maybe you fix the things to finally look clean and good against the remaining schedule. Looking bad against those teams had nothing to do with those particular teams. It had everything to do with Texas. So I think that's really where people have gotten lost in this, is it has only come down to what Texas has shown up and done. Even the game last week against Florida, we did not play well along the line, and that's one thing, but we still had opportunities on certain plays that Sark dialed up just to make some plays, and we didn't make it. So the season still comes down to how is Texas going to show up. And, yeah, they showed up today against a quality team and looked different than they did the first 5 games of the season. So I got to think that if you looked if you look uncoordinated and just out of whack and tripping over each other against, the Sam Houstons and the San Jose States and the UTEPs, and even last week, but now you've actually found a formula where we didn't see much of that at all. I have to think that they have to be hope. I mean, we need to see it more. Come show us that this has actually changed.
Also, Ott, man, biggest waste of money ever. don't know what's going on there. Ian, what was the final thing that you wrote a note that you wanted to get back to? Because we're getting close to the wrap here, brother.
Yeah. All right. So Oklahoma, secondary a little bit exposed. John Mateer, half dead. 0 run game in any big games. Everybody that's playing Oklahoma from here on out knows they have no run game. Their only run game is running Mateer, the guy that is half dead. Okay? With all of that knowledge on Oklahoma, 5-1. But here's the remaining slate. At South Carolina, Ole Miss in Norman, at Tennessee, bye week, at Alabama, Missouri at home, LSU. 500 is not a sure thing.
Yeah.
500 is not a sure thing. You could lose Mateer for the season at any moment and be stuck back with Hawkins. All those games are against good physical teams. All of the remaining teams on their schedule might be tougher than Texas. Probably not. But those are all solid teams. And I don't think we totally know what to make of Texas yet. So
I don't think OU knows who they are anymore.
Yeah, their identity crisis has got to be crazy over there right now because they were on top of the mountaintop, man. This week sucked, man, because you couldn't even talk trash really back to them effectively, and they were just going.
They are. I mean, they're like a Mike Leach Mississippi State team, only not that good.
Well, the problem is the vaunted defensive line also got exposed, right? So it wasn't like Texas just hit a bunch of deep passes and quick gamed them. Like they got beat on the defensive line, and so now that even like that one thing that you thought you could depend on and knew was elite. Now that's gone too. So that's what's got to be a trip for him over there.
Right. You let a true freshman left guard come in and fix the Texas offense.
Yeah.
We can tell that story, and it could stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Missouri, somebody says Missouri choked. Missouri is a great outside zone team. Tennessee is a good team. Lane Kiffin is not going to be bullied by Brent Venables. And they have Trinidad Chambliss, who rescued them today from a disaster. So, yeah, it's a tough time to be an Oklahoma Sooner.
I can't wait, man. I gotta go see what they're saying, man. And of course, we're gonna have some videos come out for you guys later today as well after this. So be on the lookout for that, guys. Awesome win. Super proud of this team. The offense executed, put together drives, everything that I've been complaining about. Run game was there. Wisner played well. Arch was playing quarterback for real, improvising, but also just making the plays. Love that. Defense bounced back from Florida. Bunch of interceptions, bunch of sacks, which we've been looking for. Just I'm a happy guy. Shout out. And Sark went with a game plan that I thought was not going to work, and it did work. Like they just a awesome game. It was awesome to get that win. Does a lot for everybody's vibes. So hook 'em to everyone. And this was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Everyone have a wonderful Saturday night. Peace.